Please direct your attention to the pitcher's mound for our ceremonial first pitch. Throwing a very special ceremonial first pitch, please welcome back today's managers, Willie Randolph, Terry Collins, Bobby Valentine, and Jerry Manuel. Our ceremonial catchers are Dave Racanello, Eric Langle, Daryl Strawberry, and Mookie Wilson. Willie, Terry, Bobby, Jerry, it's your pitch. Now let's play ball.
Well, it's great to see so many of these former Mets back. And compared to past old-timers day, I have to say that so many of them have stayed in playing shape. We might actually see a good ball game.
You know, I heard more and more in the lead up to this how worried players were about not embarrassing themselves. So how do you do that? You do work out and prepare a little bit for it. And I think the one overriding thing that I get from being on the field for these things, and I'm sure you've absorbed it too, is that there's just such a genuine happiness that these guys have to see each other again, to be around each other, to share the stories, and you can't help but feel good about that through osmosis.
And the whole rhythm of preparing for a game as well, which is something that they've done their entire lives. Let's go over to Steve Gelbs, who's standing by with Turk Wendell.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Turk, seems like you're fully equipped. You've got the shark tooth necklace, got the black licorice, everything ready to go for today?
Take no prisoners time, boys.
No, Howie was just saying that the genuine joy that you guys seem to feel on a day like today is palpable. What excites you the most about getting back with your old teammates?
Oh, just reminiscing about the old times and just giving each other grief, you know. I can't wait to face Josh Thole today because I'm going to buzz his tower.
You are also someone who, as was mentioned in your introduction, once pitched 9 consecutive games out of the bullpen in September back when you were playing. Thinking about where the game is now, can you ever imagine doing that in this day and age?
How many games did you say that? Say that again?
9 games in a row.
Only 9? Yeah, I loved every minute of it. Some guys were telling me, hey, you may not bring your spikes today. You're not going to pitch. But I said, I feel good and I'm ready to roll.
All right, Turk, finally here. I don't know if everybody in the crowd knows this, but Jim Duquette, he's out here today. Everybody knows Jim Duquette well. Can you tell everybody the story about how one of your superstitions was created by playing with Jim Duquette back in high school?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but Duke was one of the best athletes I've ever played baseball with, soccer with, or basketball with. You wouldn't know it now by looking at him, but he was the real deal. Anyway, high school, I went out, pitched an inning, and he said I threw a pitch or two before he was even looking. So ever since then, I had made sure to turn around. I'm like, Duke, are you ready? Can I throw a pitch now? And that's how that started.
That's how waving to center field started. Jim Duquette got it going back in high school with Turk Wendell. Turk, so great to see you again. Looking forward to watching you buzz Josh Thole today.
Pleasure to be here, and I can't wait.
All right, guys, let's send it back to you.
All right, Steve, thank you. And Gary and I are joined here by the man who managed more games than anyone in the history of the New York Mets, Terry Collins. Could you imagine asking a pitcher up-downs for 9 days in a row?
No, I cannot. But, you know, he's still doing it today. I go to the fantasy camps with him, and he pitches every day. So he's still doing it.
So you've got a lot of pitching talent on your team over here. It looks like you've given the knuckleballer the ball to start the game.
Well, I only did that because I did a show the other night with Todd Zeal, and he told me he's been taking batting practice for a week for this, and he wanted to know who I was going to start, and I told him it's going to be R.A. Dickey, and he immediately got sick to his stomach because he has not faced one knuckleball ever. So,
you know, I seem to remember being on good terms with all of these players, but they're putting this big screen up in front of us. Do you know if anybody's after Gary or me today, or should we be ducking here? What's up?
Well, you know, I would be if I were you. I'd stay behind the screen if I were you right now. But you know, it's really been a lot of fun. It's great to see some of the guys we haven't seen in a while, and I salute the Cohens for putting this together. It's a tremendous event.
So you managed a lot of games in this ballpark. What's your most memorable moment?
In this ballpark?
Yeah.
Gosh. There was so many. I mean, Yohan's no-hitter was probably right near the top. I remember The night was Harvey Strasburg night. It's never been more electric in my life. Watching Matt go out and dominate that game, that was a huge night. And the World Series when David hit that home run, I don't think that was just a huge night.
I remember you saying something on the bus in Chicago after you won the pennant. On our way back to New York, you spoke to everybody on the bus with the little intercom or microphone that they had, and you said, anybody who's not going to the World Series, get off this bus because we're going to the World Series. And I could see the tears forming in your eyes then. Do you remember that, and does that in and of itself still give you chills?
I do, Howie. I really do remember it. When you spend as much time in baseball as I have and never got a chance to be involved in a World Series and then all of a sudden get to be the manager of one of the greatest franchises in baseball and then to look up and you're going to the World Series, it stands out and is the greatest moment of my life. I tell the story. When I was a little boy, my mother kept me out of school one day so I could watch the World Series. And now all of a sudden I'm standing on the third baseline in Kansas City as the manager of a team in the World Series. It was pretty special.
It's interesting when I asked you about greatest moments in this ballpark, you first mentioned Johan's no-hitter, which was probably your most difficult day managing in the major leagues.
Yes, it was. I knew, as you guys did, how important Johan was to the ball club. And, when he started, and we got into about the sixth inning, I told Dan Wortham, the pitching coach, I said, please God, somebody get a hit, because I can't let this guy go very far into this game because I knew his shoulder was an issue. And I went down to him in the eighth inning at the end of the bench, and he looked at me before I got down there. He said, I'm okay. Don't worry about me. I'm going to be fine. And I looked at him and I said, Yo, you're my hero. Go finish this thing. And he did, and certainly nobody could have been more deserving than Johan Santana.
Did you sleep okay after that game?
Not
or were you
too much.
Tossing and turning?
Tossing and turning. Still trying to get over the 134th pitch.
That's exactly what it was.
Can you imagine somebody throwing 134 pitches today? Oh, my God.
Well, a key figure in that game is standing by with Steve.
All right, Gary, thanks so much. Yeah, here with Mike Baxter. And, Mike, a Queens kid, but you are known very much so for that unbelievable catch you made to preserve Johan Santana's no-hitter. When you come back here, how often are you asked about that when you're locally?
Occasionally, when I come back. What a great memory, great to be able to play a part in that game. Really glad Johan finished it off more than anything.
They're showing it on the big screen right now. When you see it, what are the thoughts that come to mind?
That hurt. I'm glad the ball stayed in the glove.
Mike, when you come back on a day like today, I know you move on, you lose touch with some guys. What's the best part about reconnecting with some of your old teammates?
You pick up right where you left off. Steve and the ownership putting this together for us gives us all an opportunity to get together. We're all grateful for that, so we appreciate that.
Any diving catches that we should be expecting today?
No. Johan already told me to stay very far away from the fence.
Very good. Do you have any? I mean, Jose Reyes we talked to, and he's somebody that has been prepping and working hard to get in shape for today. Have you been doing the same, or are you just showing up, putting the uniform on, and seeing what happens?
It's a show and go for me today.
All right. Mike Baxter, you still look like you can play. Thanks so much for the time. Good luck today.
Thanks.
All right, guys.
I saw one of the fans had a piece of the wall that Mike crashed into outside the ballpark today and got Mike to pose in front of it.
In fact, Mike and Johan Santana have signed that panel.
Fantastic.
That's pretty cool.
Done? Good.
All right. Terry Collins is going to make out the lineup card, make sure the guys have the signs, and be ready for the game. Look who's coming to join us now. It's been a long time since we saw Pedro Martinez back here in a Mets uniform. Pedro's getting all hooked up and ready to go. You've been busy. You were at Fenway last night, weren't you?
Yes, I was. It was a fun night. They had a little video of the back and forth between the Red Sox and the Yankees. That was a lot of fun, and then they got me throwing the first pitch.
I remember the day that you signed with the Mets. You and Carlos Beltran together thought that this was going to be a new era in Mets history, and it turned out that it was. 2006 is one of the most memorable years we've ever had here. What do you remember about that year?
You know what? What I remember is unfortunate, but the thing that stuck in my mind was that we were one strike away. one strike away. And I felt so bad because I wanted to be there to be the guy to make that pitch. I would never throw Albert Pujols 8 changeups in a row. And I wanted to kind of be there to blow that fastball up and then maybe go back to the changeup or whatever, but we were just one strike away. And that's what made us fall short to the goal that we had.
Can I give you my one favorite Pedro Martinez as a Met moment? I'm sure you'll remember it. It had nothing to do with throwing a pitch, but you're standing on the mound warming up between innings at Shea, and the sprinklers go off. Now, there are some pitchers who would go crazy because of that, because they'd be set off of their rhythm and have to wait until they got it fixed. You seem to be having more fun than anybody in the ballpark dancing through the shower. Did you literally enjoy that?
I actually did, and I'm glad. I think that was something that I should have done more often. I was talking to Jacob deGrom earlier, and I said, you know what? Try to have more fun while you play the game, because that is something that I never learned to do. And I remember that day when the sprinklers went off, I just started laughing for some reason. And then I got wet in the water. It was hot. It was humid. So a little cold water wouldn't do any bad. And I started enjoying that. And that was a lot of fun.
Pedro, thanks so much. Great to have you back here. I think the game's about to start.
All right. Play ball.
Oh, boy.
There you go.
Great seeing you. And, of course, Jose Reyes is leading off.
And R.A. Dickey all set to throw his first knuckleball. He threw a fastball. He threw it from the backstop.
Well, Jose just looked out for a moment, but I don't think he took it personally.
You notice he's hitting right on right against Dickey. That's the MO for switch hitters against knuckleballers.
But 2 fastballs. Oh, of course, this is coming right here. No, not that close. I think Josh did that on purpose just to see if Jose could steal a base.
I think that Josh is ready to throw Reyes out.
Is that strike 3? Well, here comes Reyes. And he scores.
So a Reyes run.
Nothing, Bob, nothing. It was strike 2. You missed it. That's enough. You're done.
Somebody just got tossed.
Had to be Bobby V, right?
All right, R.A. Dickey, you surprised a couple of guys out there starting them off with fastballs. All part of the game plan?
They should have studied the film. I did that all the time when I played, man.
We did just hear you, not to blow up your spot, but I just heard you say to Josh Thole, hey, man, you cost me a run. What was going on out there?
Well, he knows better. He's playing with the little glove now. He didn't bring the big glove, so it cost us.
Talk about a lack of preparation. All right, 2012, a magical season for you. When you look back on that year, what does it mean for you in your career?
Well, I mean, it was the pinnacle for me of my career, I think. I did get to go to the playoffs later, but that was something really special. I got to celebrate it with all the Mets community. Thank you very much, everybody. That was what made it really special for me.
All right, you're acknowledging this Mets fan base. What was that connection like for you? How much did that mean to you, and what is it like to be back playing in front of them?
Well, it's awesome. It's just, it's a working class fan base, and that's where I fit in, I feel like, and it was special all around.
Anybody in particular that you were really excited to come catch up with today?
Well, I'm always partial to Josh. Like Josh and I go way back, and he's been a big part of my career, so getting to catch up with him was great.
All right. R.A. Dickey, you looked great out there. Looked like you can still spin it. Thanks so much for the time.
You're welcome.
All right.
Well, it'll score a run.
Reyes stayed on the bag. So it's a tie game.
A jubilant Curtis Granderson being congratulated as he approaches the Mets dugout. He got it going. Little heat. Uh-oh.
Well, here comes Bobby V.
Wait a minute. I thought he was run earlier.
Well, now he got it.
Yep.
And that'll get a run home as Tejada scampers in to make it 2-1 in favor of Citi.
Okay, we're back here, top of the second inning, and I am joined by one of the all-time Mets fan favorites, Benny Agbayani. Benny, I don't think it's fair, this is my personal opinion, that in an alumni game, you have to start things off by facing a knuckleball.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy right there. I think he can still pitch.
Yeah, I think he could. That's the one area where you say, hey, he could probably pitch into his 50s. But Benny, I mentioned, all-time fan favorite. Why do you think it was that you connected with this fan base the way that you did when you were playing?
I think, just the support and just going out there, giving my best every night and try to, help our ball club blow in. And it was a great run. I mean, it was exciting to see all these fans, and it's exciting to see them all here today with all this support. Just want to thank the Mets management for, letting this happen. It's a great atmosphere today.
Benny, you had so many personally great moments in the year 2000. Any one in particular that stands out above all else?
Yeah, I think that home run against the Giants that put us on the in that playoff series. That was great.
By the way, you were on the team the day that Bobby V got ejected and came back wearing a disguise. He got ejected here today. You expect we're going to see him again at some point?
I don't know. He might. You never know. You just got to look down that bench. He might come back.
All right, Benny Agbayani, great seeing you again. Go enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, back to you.
The best game that he pitched was the second to last day in 2008 on a bad knee on 3 days rest. Went out there and threw a complete game shutout to get the Mets within a game of the playoffs. And now Terry Collins is getting upset with the umpires. And now Terry has been ejected. I guess the umpire must have been in the jackpot.
Well, I am with Josh Thole, but I'll let him dap up his battery mate, Johan Santana. But hey, before we get to the memories of that huge game with Johan, what did you just say to me off air here about how it was behind the plate catching R.A. Dickey?
Well, it wasn't like riding a bike, I'll tell you that much. I thought it was going to be like riding a bike. I played catch with him. We warmed up. It was good until you get out there in front of the big crowd again. But it was exciting. Good to be out there.
Where was the butterfly glove?
We have no idea. I lost mine. He lost his. So we went with the regular mitt.
Josh, when you get out here, and obviously we just saw Johan Santana back out on the mound, is that the first memory that comes flooding back, that great night?
Yeah, it was a special night personally, special night for the organization. So it was good to see him back out there.
Josh, when you look back at your time with the organization, obviously that's the one highlight, but is there anything that, again, people wouldn't know unless they were in it with you, that you think back on that stands out from your time with the organization? Ooh, almost a double play turn.
We like that. No, we needed a double play. Yeah, I mean, that was a special moment for me. RA's Cy Young year. I mean, just getting back with all these guys is the things I'll never forget.
All right, Josh, enjoy the rest of the day. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, guys.
Well, we just found out that Andy Chavez can still get down the line. That's hit down the right field line, and that stays fair into the corner.
Andy can walk home, but he always takes the fastest route.
And that ties up the game, 2-2.
His nickname was Big Pelf, and I can see why. I'm looking up to Mike Pelfrey right now. Hey, Mike, I know you were just getting warm. You're going out here next. How you feeling physically about this?
Well, physically, I feel okay, besides feeling old and really tight and didn't really stretch, so we'll see how it goes.
You were the pitcher on the mound for the first game at Citi Field. What do you remember about that day?
Just an incredible experience, and how beautiful the ballpark is, and then of course giving up a home run to the first batter. I can't ever forget that. But it's a pretty awesome stadium, and got the chance to break it in.
You brought that up, not me. I'm just putting that out there right now. Hey, Mike, you were such a big prospect when you came up, and the Mets right now have a few young pitching prospect studs that are pitching this weekend. What is the key when you have those types of expectations to succeeding?
Well, I mean, the thing is, I think when you get to this level, you always try to think you need to do more, you know, and you don't really need to. The things you did in AA or AAA or wherever it came from, it works at this level too. But it's human nature to try to be better, try to come here and impress people and do really well. But just being yourself, it works really well.
All right, what are you doing now? What are you doing these days?
So I coach at a local high school in Wichita, Kansas. And I actually get to coach my son, which is a pretty cool feeling every day, getting to see him.
How is he? Are we going to see him out here one day?
He thinks so. He's up here now. He came with me, so I hope he makes it. But as long as he enjoys it and has fun, and see how far you can go.
All right, Mike. One more before we let you go. Game a little different to coach in high school now than when you were playing in high school?
You know, I coached 5 years at college at Wichita State before this. That was way different, and then high school is a totally different game. So, but you got to adjust, and you got to find a way to try to figure it out.
All right, we appreciate you talking to us on a start day. Go out there and get it done.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
I have no idea who that man is.
I hope nobody notices him.
You know, I think the one he wore in '99 was a lot better.
Ooh, slick pickup. 2 of them. 3 of them. That's some defense.
And of course, who does it start with? A guy we usually see make plays like that at shortstop, but hats off to the third baseman, Ray Ordonez. Maybe next he'll throw one from his knees from the outfield.
I asked Ray if he actually broke his glove in for this game. He said, yeah. He used to take him right out of the box and use him in games. And I think they are calling the game at this point because of time restrictions. And so it finishes in a 2-2 tie.
Which I suppose is somewhat fitting.
So let's give a hand to all the participants in today's Mets Alumni Classic.
What a great day, and thanks to everyone. They may have been on opposing sides today, but as you see, they're all wearing the same uniform. They're all New York Mets and a big part of this team's heritage.